Let's do this. Good evening, folks. How are we? We having a good evening? I'm having a good evening. Hello, folks. How are you doing? Right, it is 9 o'clock Sunday night. A little bit later, a little bit more sedate in our show tonight. Yeah, everyone's here, I see. It says I'm streaming. I'm just checking buttons, you know, as I do. We've been messing around with the settings a bit recently to sort of deal with some lag issues, and fingers crossed, we've improved it. Yeah, but I don't think we fixed it. And there goes first child. You getting your drink? What you after?
My coat.
What you after your coat for?
I need to bring it upstairs.
Why?
So when I have it in the morning, I can put it straight on. That's what I always do. Do you not see my coat always hung up in my room?
Dude, you put your coat on before you come down and have breakfast?
Yeah. You not see me every time you see me in the morning. I'm putting my coat on.
What's in your coat?
Nothing.
Come on, I caught you trying to talk. We got home last night, yeah, from the studio. And Corbin says, I'll just take my homework up to bed, knowing it's bedtime. Yeah? Oh, thinking Dad didn't know that his laptop from the studio was in his bag. Which I noticed wasn't on the table this morning as I asked.
It was in the bag.
Was it in the bag? Did you not bother taking... Oh, did you not bother taking your bag up after you got busted?
No.
Have you got clothes on under there?
I do.
You haven't, have you? Right, cross your arms and keep yourself well wrapped up. What is... I'll tell you what. Yeah, it's like living with a pair of Mowglis. I don't know about the rest of you parents in there, but what is it with kids and their innate desire to just shed clothes as soon as they're home? Middle of the day. Oh, we're in the house, are we? Boof! Nakedness everywhere. So you keep yourself wrapped up because I don't want to lose my chance. What are you dancing for?
Because I can.
Of course you can. Yes, you can. Don't be dabbing. Right, young lady. Did you enjoy the film?
Yeah, Jumanji's awesome.
Yeah, it was. We've been to see Jumanji. That's why we're starting a little bit late. We had a bit of a family trip out, didn't we?
Don't tell him that I'm not the right age.
Yeah, we won't tell him. It's a 12. She's 10.
You told him.
It's okay. The cinema won't find out. Hey, Jace! Right, I haven't even done the hellos, have I? Let me get me brew. It's because I'm being infested by children. It's called Innocence Mel. I know what you mean, Dan. What do you call it? To be truthful, yes, I will be honest. When I lived in a lot warmer house and before we had children, me and Kerry were much the same. Working for home was great. I literally spent days in my pants. So I can't really blame the kids. Well, we've got a load here. I've sort of missed the shouting out of the names. Pop out the chat so I can see it. It's not just kids who dress down or dress off as soon as they get home. Do you see the problem? I'll be honest with you, yeah, and I'm not really sure if it's a topic for a terrain builders show, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, but I get it. You know what I mean? Before we had kids, yeah. We look at Ariel with Robin Williams, don't understand. Those two innocent? Yeah, they're innocent still. In their own little ways. Corbin's getting a bit wise to the world, you know what I mean? People are managing catch the stream. Nice one, Dave. Happy New Year. Right. To be clear, the Google Doc for your terrain questions is open. We will have a question and answer session in about 10-15 minutes if you've got any terrain questions you want answering. Yeah, the link's in the description. The links are also in the description, yeah, for the Patreon and also to pledge on PayPal. If you pledge on PayPal during a live show, you're helping support the show. Hit our current target up in that corner. Oh, hey, look, just there. Yeah, and then what you call it? That's to get us a proper live streaming system in the studio, so we can do more studio live streaming. It's too cold to think nude. I know. I must admit. Oh, my daughter's 11 and still insists on running. Do you know there's times when I catch Willow? I mean, Willow's 10. And there's times when I catch her and she'll leave a bloody door open. She start bollock naked in the bedroom. Yeah, and I'm like, I know it's only just us in the house, and I've seen my daughter naked. You know, I've looked after her. I've seen Corbin naked and that sort of stuff. And as a parent, you know, it's just your child naked. You know, but even so, it's like I don't want to see that. Get your bloody clothes on. You know, if you want to. You know, if you want to be naked in your room, at least shut the damn door. Wild card weekend here in the US? What's a wild card weekend? And people are doing the shout out, hey, noticed too late to catch. There were some sessions on a Saturday. Yeah, George, I nipped in, because we had problems. I wanted to nip into the studio and do a bit of technical work, and I'd figured out some things with the lag to improve it, and so I wanted to do it. And with it being a Saturday session, I thought, well, the Yanks are around then. But as I understand it, YouTube notifications utterly failed us. Yeah, and loads of people saying they didn't get notified. Right, you covered?
Okay.
I love you, princess.
Love you.
Right, so you caught up with all your homework and everything?
Yeah.
Right, do I need to know anything for the morning? Do you need anything special?
Only Shubra.
It's only Sugar trip, and your other one isn't there? You've got 2 trips.
More side.
Yeah. Your more side consent letter.
No, I've got till Friday to get that in.
Oh, alright, well listen, we'll get it in tomorrow, but Sugar definitely. Have you messaged Lindblad?
Yeah.
She is covered up, it's okay. Right. Oi!
Yes,
Don't be going with.
Mr. Lindblad, he's quite happy.
You're going Sugar then, alright?
Sugar.
Love you, princess.
I will be in those 54 spaces.
Love you.
Right, I love you. Shut the door, darling. Thank you. Shubra is her year at school. The school, when they get to year 5, which is the year before they leave primary school, they do a week-long trip at a local, a local estate. It's a I think the estate dates back to Edward. It's a manor house and it's a country park and all that sort of stuff. But they do school events there and adventure training and outdoor activities, and she's so made up to be going. Yeah, tuned in for the kickoff. NFL, right. Shut the door. But if you are a hot babe, keep your windows open. Naughty eyes. Don't get that. Ah, right, okay, yeah. Didn't get notified, could have made an appearance. Yeah, I'm coming to the conclusion that with regards to YouTube isn't the best platform for me to be streaming on. Yeah, we just continually have problems. We either have problems with the actual streaming and the lag, even if we do everything right our side. Yeah, YouTube systems seem, you know, anything goes off and everything falls apart. So if there's a big event somewhere, you know, it's just no point streaming because it gets that laggy. And this also seems to be a bit of a problem with streams that continue beyond over sort of 2 hours. If you go over the 2 hour mark, you start getting real problems with the chat, you start getting real problems with the actual stream itself. And so I'm seriously considering moving over to Twitch for my studio streaming. It's terrain o'clock somewhere. It certainly is. I'm some kind of undead now. Jez, you still got the lurgy, dude. Castles with Corbin, water effects with Willow, moats with Mel. Do you know what? Rudy keeps going on about this castle build. Right, I'll tell you what was going on with the castle build. The big, amazing, epic castle build is going to have to wait until we're in a financial situation with Patreon and everything where I'm a lot better off than I am now and I can put some serious time into it. But so we're doing the trench build as sort of the end of level boss for the Battlefield Basics series. We're starting the medieval / fantasy series, so we're going to need an ender level boss for it. So I think we should do a castle for it. Bombastico is saying, do it, Twitch is made for streaming. Why are you not streaming on Twitch? Because I just stuck with YouTube. It's very much like why I've only just started using Twitter and why I don't really use my Facebook page. I didn't come to this to set up a business and do all the social media and tick all the boxes. I came to run a YouTube channel, and it's sort of, I'm having to grow out from there. I mean, it seemed really strange. Yeah, this week I celebrated getting 1,000 followers on Twitter, which is, you know, it's a remarkable thing. But I just giggled at the irony that, you know, I do about 3,000 new subscribers a month on YouTube, and that's while I'm not really producing that much content. Well, we've been doing a lot of professional development and camera stuff and sorting studios. Helm's Deep, end of level boss. Possibly. I can see it working. If we did it as a 4-footer, I couldn't do it as a massive table. It'd just take too long. I mean, the trenches are going to be 8 foot long, and you know, there's a couple of weeks in them. You know, so to translate that over to Helm's Deep with the rock work, all the brick work, all the custom shaping, because it's not a square castle, then we're going to be looking at, a couple of months. But if we did it as a 4-foot table edger, yeah, with the actual keep being the central focus, yeah, and then we run off a branch going off to one of the table edges for the for the deepening wall. You wouldn't actually have to see the deepening wall, and then you could just have the assault on the actual citadel. Yeah, that'd be doable. Stream both simultaneously and throw Twitch chat in the feed to bring everyone over from here to there. I was thinking, I don't know how it works with streaming to multiple. I've got to check the legalities and the terms and conditions, because I don't want to get kicked off either platform for breaking a term and condition, so I just need to double check. I'm pretty sure it is doable, you know what I mean? But my idea initially was start on YouTube for an hour, then transfer over to Twitch for an hour after that, because we do well on YouTube for the first hour and that sort of stuff, and I think after about an hour it's mainly you hardcore terrainiacs that hang around, and I think you guys would follow me over, and then as we grow on Twitch we can sort of slowly migrate down. But I do like the idea of streaming, still putting the stream out. When you say 4 foot high, I take it you mean high. No, 4 foot would be the piece. How realistically it'd be 3 foot tall. That'd be the rock work. Obviously you've got the tall tower, haven't you? Yeah, I imagine that may be larger. So it was 4x4 with removable levels for the keep, so we could play in the interior. No, I'd do it probably as a 4x3. So it was a table edger for a 6x4. And then what we'd do is we wouldn't make the sections removable, because that's pants. Yeah, everyone says do that to make it playable, but it doesn't make it playable, because you don't want to stick your models in while you're moving levels on, and then you end up with basically all the levels laid out. So what you do is you carve out the back and you make it accessible from the back, so you can actually play around the back and you have your levels in there. It means your rooms are small, and you've got to design your rooms in a slightly different functionality way. It's weird. It's sort of like the closer they are to the back of the board, the bigger the rooms are, and then you narrow down, and that's about getting your hand in over the models to reach where, you know, you'd have a few models sort of barring the doorway to the outside at the very front of the castle, which is the sort of the furthest interior point from the back edge. Yeah, but it's all about design, but you know, I can cover that stuff. See what you guys do to me? You give me an idea like that and already I'm thinking on teaching points off it. Do you play Warhammer? Yeah, kind of. I've got Necromunda. I don't play it yet. Yeah. That being said, let me show you this. No, it's not for you, Oz. This is my Imperial Guard big box. Not joking. This is my bits box. Yeah? Tamiya kits. Forge wheel resin. Sprues, and more sprues. More Tamiya kits. Various shells. What's that? 8 metal inquisitorial stormtroopers. Tank tracks. What are they? Oh, they're first generation Catchians. No, first generation Cadians. Metal Cadians, 14 specials. What we got here? Catachan spares. This looks like a large bag of metal Catachans. Heavy weapons team, squad 3 and 4, so I'm assuming squad 1 and 2 are in there as well. Bag of officers. They're all here. Where am I? Where's Bazooka Girl and all those? I don't know where Bazooka Girl's gone. Could be in a bag somewhere, no doubt. Check this out. Do you see the land speeder at the front? The wheels are Lego, the front wheels. And then Lego for the basic chassis. Obviously, the old Imperial Guard wheel kits with the tracks made to make a half track. And then the back is basically built up from plasticard. Scratch built. Yeah, and then layered with, you know, your various, you know, the Imperial Guard kit bags. And that sort of stuff. Just to break up the flat panels. I can't remember what was there that I broke off it. I'd love to see what Mel could do with a 3D printer. I've been thinking about it. Oh, there you are. Yeah, that shows the track at the back. Made on Lego. Easy peasy. You may be wondering why I have a massive bits box of Imperial Guard stuff. I've been looking for a gun for our large, an artillery piece for our large tank placement, for our large bunker. And I thought, oh, Earthshaker. I'm sure I've got one of those. My Epic's big box is about that size. Old school gamer. You know you're old school gamer when you got a bits box like that. Right, oh, I better check PayPal's just in case. We've got 100 viewers. And 1 PayPal. We've had a... Odin sent his dues, he sent a nugget. Let's get him on there. There you go. In caps. We better adjust our target. It's been a good show. We're up. Mel's in a giggly mood tonight. I've had a good night. I've had a good weekend, to be truthful. Really enjoyed being in the studio yesterday with Corbin. Anyway, I need to find an earth shaker cannon. Now I have this little concern that I may have used it and built the earth shaker. Because I don't know whether I built the earth shaker or the manticore when I built my, my last. I'm not seeing it. Oh, there's more. 20 metal stormtroopers. 10 resin Forge World vets, but still no bazooka girl. Where's she gone? Right. Arms, weapons, tracks. Flaming rust barrels, but no earth shaker. Bagger, dozer blades. You can tell an Imperial Guard player, they always have a bag of dozer blades. No. Oh, bagger. Right, I'm going to have to scratch build something, aren't I? Hi ho, go scratch build it. Done like that? Yeah, done. Right. Ah. Oh. Beat someone to death with that. Forgiven if you do penance, British modeller. What's he done? Huh. You can make a barrel out of the telescopic tubing. Yeah, I think I'll just have to scratch build something, you know what I mean? Mel, want to sell those dozer blades? If you want them, let me know. You could use it for an artillery position. I think I could use the muzzle brake off the the exhaust brake off the back of them, off the end of them. But I don't think that the actual barrel is long enough for an artillery piece. Building a minigun for Gaslands at the moment. Nice. Toilet roll, spray it silver. Old school. I love how you lot are all going like, you know, if you hit the stream, like it, you know. Check your PayPal, Mr. Oh, right, okay. Hey, Celts, Mal, as the trenches for Warlord, could they supply 150mm cannon from the Hummel kit? They probably could, but my plan is that the actual artillery piece is going to be removable. So I really want to just do something for... Because, I mean, it's not a tutorial set on making artillery pieces. I'm not a scale modeler in that sense. You know, I do terrain and buildings and that sort of stuff. So they can always swap it out at their own leisure. You know what I mean? So I'm not... By the way, I donated on Patreon. Nice one, British. Oh, yeah, you did, didn't you? Come on board. Thank you, bud. Mel, do you build anything other than miniatures? What do you mean, Hog? I don't actually build miniatures. I build terrain. I'm a scenic artist. Well, you know, to use the term loosely. $150mm Howie. I've got 105 Warlord sent me. I haven't got 150. Cheers, Rudy. Warlord Games, World War II, marble artillery gun. You could use a biro pen for the muzzle part of the gun. Not for the muzzle, you could, not a biro. The muzzle with an artillery flash, it's slotted so it vents to the side. Warlord. So what are people saying Warlord-wise? Let's have a look. Yes, I did mean Warlord Games. Right. Yes, Mel, you are an artist. We'll see. I don't know what I am. I'm a bloody idiot at times. That's what I am. I know that much. Like tanks and aircraft. No, I don't do scale modelling. I don't make tanks. I don't make aircraft. I know I made that little half track. Yeah, but you know, that's just playing around in a bit of converting, you know, and that was done a long time ago. My area of modelling is scenic modelling. Basically terrain and scenery. Terrain is the landscape, scenery is what sits on top of the landscape. I.e., oh, the terrain is rough going. Oh, isn't that a lovely scene? Did you know that? Did you know the differentiation between the two terms, terrain and scenery? Have a look at the Hummel. Mill one on a lathe. I could go see Bryony, she's got a lathe. Oh yes. Yeah, that'll do it. 1 second. Rich. Send him the link. I need the gun from this, mate. Badly. There you are. Right. I'll leave that to Warlord. They'll get that sorted. You see, it may seem a bit cocky just, you know, firing a quick message over to, like, you know, the head of Warlord's, you know, social media and all that sort of stuff and just going, I need this kit now, mate. Yeah? But this project is for them. It's a gift for them. So I've got no qualms. There's nothing they can say. It was like, I looked at it and it's like, I was like looking at the barbed wire and I was like, hey, it looked really good with loads of barbed wire. And you know, I thought, I know what? Warlord, send me barbed wire. It's for them. I can get away with it. Get away with so much when it's for them. It's like, whenever I do projects for for foreground, you know, if there's anything of theirs that I need for that project, I have no qualms in just ringing them up and telling them, just send it me. Yeah? And no one ever has a qualms with sending it because they know it's for their project and it's just going to make it cooler. The only time Mel does model building is when they are wrecks and have become part of the scenery and terrain. Part of the scenery. Yeah, what do you call it? Could you custom make a gun out of polymer clay? That'd be a lot of work, wouldn't it? So that chair looks like a nice piece of terrain and the scenery sat on top of it looks rough as hell. Yeah, Anthony, that's the idea. Telling, asking, surely. No, telling. No, I'm incredibly polite and humble in most circumstances. Except for when it comes to acquiring bits of kit, yeah, off manufacturers for projects for manufacturers. Completely brutal and that just everything goes out the window. It's just like, I need that to finish this project for you. And they go, there you go, man. Practice your art, that's enough to call yourself an artist. You make beautiful stuff others enjoy. Yeah, definition of art, it's interesting. I don't, you know, it's quite weird. I don't even know if I want to be called an artist. Yeah. I mean, I've spent 2 years mixing in the Stoke art scene since I first stepped out of the house to find a studio and I've ended up mixing in the art scene. Yeah, and with the exception of a handful of people, out of the, say, 100 or so people I've met regularly over the past 2 years, they are the most awful people you can imagine. I mean, I thought you got toxic people in like high corporate sales worlds, but in truth, all you got was like people who were stressed and aggressive, alphas. God, there is nothing worse than artists. Self-centered. Just celebrating each other's mediocrity whilst doing their level best to quash anyone with any real talent. Bunch of Phil Mitchells. Now, I don't mean to be offensive to all artists, because I know I've got artists who follow me. If you follow me, then that tends to suggest you're interested in learning and improving skills and techniques. Out of the handful of artists which I count on the good side, that would apply to those. So I'm pretty sure you fall within the decent group. But my God, contemporary artists. Didn't realise Warlord likes moats. Oh, why would they not like moats, Rudy? They make castles. Ah, gotcha! Rudy didn't know they made castles. Artists are men. I can't even read that one out, dude. Mel has just killed all his relationships. If people wonder if he's talking about them. No, I haven't, because the handful of people know that I have had enough with the arts world, and they are not counted, because I have personally had this conversation with every single member with the exception of one, because I haven't seen them yet. Over Christmas it was. I canned them all. I mean, I pretty much accept everyone on Facebook, and I mean, I get quite a diverse range of terrainiacs. You know, we keep politics and all that sort of stuff out of the group because our group is so diverse. You know what I mean? Yeah, and so I can have everything from the extreme of the right wing to the extreme of the left wing on my Facebook friends, and I can tolerate them because as long as I can talk to people and that sort of stuff, and you know, I can deal with it, you know, and we put all that aside, yeah, for the love of the train. Yeah, but I am not. Do you know what? I'd probably prefer to befriend Hitler than most of the artists I've met. No, that's an exaggeration, and I know it's a loaded one, but do you know what I mean? Just horrible people. I mean, it was weird for me, yeah, because you got to remember when I moved out into the art scene. It was to find studio space because we'd outgrown the house. You know, Kerry wanted a kitchen back. Now, for me personally, it was the first time since my nervous breakdown and all that sort of stuff that I'd actually wandered out properly into the world and into groups of people that I don't know who aren't gamers. Going to a gaming show as the train tutor, it's a pretty enjoyable experience. You know, I know people, you know, if they recognise me, they like me, you know, generally that sort of stuff. But going into a mixed bunch, I was really hopeful about the art scene because I thought they're artists. They've got to be, they've got to be nice people. Hitler was an artist, a painter. Memorising the colour wheel does not make someone an artist. I don't think they know the colour wheel, mate. I mean, for me, if someone turns around and say they're an artist, yeah, then instantly I think of people like Fred. You know, it doesn't matter what your medium is. If you're a sculptor, I met one artist once. Yeah, her mediums were dance and crochet. No, they were her mediums. I express my art through dance and crochet. Right, okay then. Is it easy to get grants for that sort of stuff? Apparently it is. Yeah, but at least he was a painter. I mean, as long as he wasn't a modern painter, I'd probably appreciate him more. That almost compares to 2017's quote of the year from Mel. Currently, I'm enjoying World War II. Do you know what? I'm about to hit, well, I'm not about to hit, but if I carry on growing at the state I'm growing, it's reasonable to assume that I will hit 100,000 subscribers at some point in 2018. And I was thinking about, I should do a special video for that. You know, perhaps go back and get clips from the old shows. And I was thinking about what I was doing. And basically my channel is a never-ending supply of blooper reels put out as tutorials. Put tracks on the colour wheel. He was a mediocre painter, but he was the guy who killed Hitler. That's a good plus. Oh, dude. That joke, I'm not even reading that one. That's bad. What's the best material to make a base plate? Oh, like a template to add stuff. EPVC, expanded PVC foam board, mate. There's videos on it in the Back to Basics playlist. I'm an artist. Yes, I used to refer to myself as that sort of artist as well. There's also performing arts, so Mel will demonstrate his Go for Dance art now. I present the Go for Dance, yeah, as entertainment, not a meaningful piece of art. I love it, terrains. So do I. My job title is officially technical artist, although now I refer to myself as an artist. It seems very pretentious somehow, and I know what you mean. Yeah, I get what you're saying, mate. Out of interest, what do you do? Just out of curiosity. Do Dragmal then, not doing Dragmal. Where is Warlord's Castle? I found the front of a manor house, but nothing bigger. They bought, what you call it, they bought the plastic kit from, was it Tabletop Workshop? Does he interpretate Go for Dancing for funding? Careful, Jez, that's a bit close to the mark, mate. It could be interpreted that well. I might have to stop Go for Dancing and no one will. Every time I've tried to order EPVC foam board, I've received foam core instead. Yeah, I had that once. I had a very interesting conversation with the supplier involving, what you call it, pointing a few points out to him. And when he said, "You don't know what you're talking about," I sent him a link to my channel and I said, "There's 50,000 people on there who watch me because I do know what I'm talking about." Yeah, send me my EPVC. And I got a pack of EPVC off them. Yes, I leveraged my subscribers to achieve something, but when you buy EPVC and they send you phone core and then you ring up to complain and they tell you don't know what you're talking about, having 50,000 subscribers following you because you know about materials, it's a real boom for winning the argument. By my definition standards, you make art. That makes you an artist. I've had that's by your definition and standards, mate. But the actual true definition of art is an art is a piece that is created to be emotive. It's to create. It originally it was aesthetically pleasing. Now it's emotive. You know, it creates emotion. Now technically, I'm an artisan. And the reason being is an artisan is the term that you apply to someone who creates functional items, yeah, that have aesthetic qualities or emotive qualities. So we make beautiful terrain, but it's still there to enable us to play a game. So it's a functional item. Yeah. Now I actually quite like the term artisan, because to put it in context, yeah. An artisan, the best way I think of visualizing an artisan outside of what I do, yeah, is I often think of the old guy, yeah, the old woodworker making something like a grandfather's clock. It's a clock, it's a functional item, but we all agree it's a thing of beauty and it is a piece of art at the same time. And so, being an art, referring specifically as an artisan really resonates more with what I feel like I do compared to what I see from my experience of the art world. Yeah, most of the artists in Stoke are going around putting crocheting up around trees to beautify and gentrify the area. Tell you what, Duck, why don't you get that bucket of paint and paint over that shitty wall and make it look a little bit nicer, and that might beautify the area instead. Do you know what, on a plus side, I'm glad I've stopped demonetizing these videos, because now I don't have to worry about swearing. Mel, going to Robin next month in Nottingham? I am. So's Fred, and so's Jace, fingers crossed. Okay, I asked on the Google... Oh, I forgot about the Google Doc. I felt like crying plenty of times when I saw my earliest terrain pieces. Pikachu, is that a joke, or are you being really emotional there? You can't tell with the internet. You know what I mean? If I was looking you in the eye, I could tell if that was a joke or a serious comment, but I can't tell when it's just better text. You're an entertainer. Yeah, I am. I often recognise the fact that I am partly an entertainer, and I think that's one of the reasons why I do have a little bit of a banter and I do play around, because I think I enjoy it. I enjoy being an entertainer, a bit of a fool. Emotive, not our motive. I'd like to be a clockmaker, standing around making faces all day. Sounds like fun. Really? What about us mini painters? Technically you're painting minis to play games. If you paint, if I model something for a diorama, that's art. Because the only purpose of a diorama is to be enjoyed visually. Yeah, it serves no functional item. You can get educational art. So, have you seen some of the pictures of the guy who does the model making of the trenches, but illustrates them? Yeah, so that you know what the bits are, the various bits are. Yeah, so you've got the diorama, and he's basically got writing on the side with arrows pointing to the various bits. That's called educational art. Okay, and it's still art, but the idea is there to inform you, to educate you. Now, a diorama without the illustrations is a piece of art. So if you do model painting purely to put it on the shelf and look at, you are an artist. Art should disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed. That sounds about me. Have you tried making a vertical terrain piece like the top of It's a Fun On? The goal is to move either up or down. I haven't, to be perfectly honest. I've seen lots of them done, and there's one going through that passes through the terrainiacs group. Link in the description. What you call it? That's like a platformer game based on Necromunda that I'm following with interest, but I've never actually built one myself, if I'm perfectly honest. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. Oh bugger, we've had PayPals. Right. Jez has sent the number of the beast. 6 2/3. So let's get him on the screen. Thank you, buddy. I should do these PayPals. I've just been chatting, haven't I? Let's do big caps. Jez H. Is Jez short for Jeremy? Yeah, so we'll call it 7 nuggets from our Jez. And then George. George, who missed the Saturday show. George has sent us 20. Nice one, George. Yeah, it's George M. Thank you, buddy. Well, I've done him in little. I've got to correct that now. That's my OCD. It's not proper OCD, it just bugs me. I've done it again. Come on, bicycle. We've really got 110 people watching. Right, so 22 plus 7, 9. I need Willow. That's close to 30 plus 1, 68. Boom! We're getting there. We're getting there, Jace. Yeah, Jez. Dude, I feel sorry for you, mate. Sorry, dude. I thought I had bad luck being named Melvin. But yeah, mate. Sympathies, man. And I appreciate the donation, dude. Thank you, guys. Let him understand recon the number. Recon the number? What's that? Oh, bugger, we have PayPals. Seriously, I thought Jez was short for Jessica. Ant's been trying to chat you up for the past 3 months, mate. I had to make up for missing Saturday. Nada from YouTube till after it was over. I know. I think Twitch is the way to go. If I'm perfectly honest, yeah. I've spent some time speaking to some producers I know that stream on Twitch. I've spent some time watching the platform. Yeah, a while ago I spent some time chatting with their creative director because I was looking at doing it a while ago, but I was looking at getting Fred on, and because of Fred's sort of like his credentials. When I sort of emailed Twitch to sort of say, could we speak to someone? We got the creative director of Twitch on a Skype session for an hour. Mel, Google form questions. Yeah, we've got to do those. Tell you what, if you've got any questions, we'll give it another sort of 20 minutes to get any questions out of the way. Get them onto the sheet and we'll hammer the questions. What I'm going to do now, yeah, I'm going to watch what I see there's another PayPal. Yeah, so I'm going to check that in just a second. I'm going to grab a quick brew because I'm getting a little bit throaty. Yeah, I'll leave you in the capable hand of Jace. Yeah, and then we'll have a look at the Google Docs. So, if you want to shout on the show, yeah, you've got 2-3 minutes to get a PayPal in. And if you've got a question, get that in. When I come back, I'll be switching off the questions. So, we'll just deal with what questions we get over the next couple of minutes. All right, guys? Right, just grabbing a brew. Calm down, old dog. Just having a brew. I am liking the can't hear asking if you're going to say hi. Now you've been on YouTube.
No, it's business. Is it why not? It needs to be YouTube thing. I'll shout it.
Hello. Right, have you got your questions in? Mel said if he hits 500 euros, he'll do a static grasp. What? No, you won't. No. And it was pound, not euro. Yeah, we've got a 4K sports camera from the missus plus all the necessary kit. Nice one, dude. Right. First off, let me find my questions. That's my calendar. Oh, we've got 11 questions. Stop accepting responses. We've got questions from Mike, Celts, Serial, Hakalamululu, Gabrielle, Bill, That Crazy Cat Critic, Charlie, Dave, Katoma, and Bombasticus. You are the guys who are having your questions answered this show. Next Sunday show, when it's a proper time, we'll get into a proper question and answers panel. I remember something about using Christmas tree needles, but what can you use them for? I don't know. I haven't had a proper Christmas tree or Christmas tree needles in the house for probably about coming on 20 years. Kerry's allergic to them. Yeah, so to be perfectly honest, I suppose you could use them for thatch if you dried them out, couldn't you? You could use them for tall grass. I'd have to get them and play with them, to be perfectly honest, mate. Right, I need to be able to track the comments as well. Now I want to shave my head and get a static graph mohawk. Look for one from David Marsh. Okay. Right, I'm being told I must look for one from David Marsh. Okay, let's have a look for one for David Marsh. Let's skip till we find David, shall we? Celts, Serial. We'll go back to him, don't worry, I won't skip any questions. Bill, That Crazy Cat, Charlie B, David Marsh. How do you make apartments in 15 mil? Like what I need to do from down under? Just scale it to 15 mil, mate. If you go to, with regards to what sizes and that sort of stuff, go for if you do a Google search and search for TMP scales, yeah, it's the miniature pages, and they have a page on scales, and it'll break 15 mil down to the actual scale. What is it? Is it? It's not 1 in 100, is it? 15 mil? I can't remember right now. My brain's not working right. Around about there. Yeah, and then it's just scaling it. Easiest way to scale it is going from sort of like 28 mil, yeah, and half everything, and that'll take you down to 15 mil in all your dimensions. With your materials, remember that when you're going for 15 mil, foam board doesn't really work that well, but EPVC does. Okay, you can get 3 mil stuff which works well at 15 mil for sort of the size of the walls. So look to switching to that. But there you go. Right. I'll put the comments over here so we can watch the comments. I can manage the stream. And I can see the questions. It's the future. There we go. I've used them for thatch roofs, lichens. Lichen must have. Using to make tiny trees, yeah. TMP all about scales, great info that. It's a really good page. Yeah, 1 to 100 is 15 mil. You know when you've got the vague, and you're like, is it? Yeah, I think it is. Anyone see the custom settler tiles in the terrainiacs group? Yes. Hey, Max. If you're stateside, Max, and you're looking for scenics, have a look at Woodland Scenics or Scenic Express. Scenic Express do some very nice stuff. They are. Jace, I think Jace can post links directly as a moderator. Right, Let's find some more questions. Because people are asking questions and I did say I'd answer them. And I've got 10-15 minutes. Celtic Knox, going to Robin next month, Mel. Yes, I am going to Robin. Fred wants to come along. Jace is probably coming along as well. If you don't know, Robin is Red on Blue in Nottingham. It's a gaming event, a new sort of show. It's its second year. Yeah, and with it being in Nottingham, it's relatively local, so I'll be going. So yes, Celts, I'll be there, dude. Okay, from Serial, Alex, 15. Going to start my first bit of terrain building. What's the first items I should buy before starting? You're going to want a couple of basic house paints, and you're going to want a decent amount of PVA. Yeah, buy that from the craft store, not the gaming store. You're going to want, say, a pound tube of ready mix filler. Yeah. Now, I have a video in the Let's Makes playlist. It's simple scenic scatter, and basically it's trees and rocks on CDs. But that video covers all the basics for terrain building when it comes to basing, yeah, which is pretty much 90% of what you've got to learn to get yourself started with terrain building, okay? It also goes through the basic materials and where you get them from and that sort of stuff. So that should be your first project, mate. Or something similar to that, but that'll take you through the paints, the glue, the techniques, the materials, all that sort of stuff, mate. Okay, for 44, 45 Ardennes board, having a ton of pine and fir trees, from where would you suggest getting them pre-made? Any suggestions for shops or eBay sellers? I'm trying to stay on a very low budget. If you're looking for tree pre-made, you're looking for Knock, mate. Yeah. In the comments right now. German manufacturer, they do big bags of cheap pine trees. The prices have gone up a little recently, but they're still pretty reasonable. I mean, you can buy, what you call it, sort of gutter guards and stuff like that, what you call it, and make your own. But if you factor in how long it takes you to actually make them, you're better off just buying them, mate. You know what I mean? I've been thinking about picking up one of those dirt cheap nativities things for the height. Change that. The roofs we made out of bark that could be used for rock formations. Yeah, I could see that. Mel, can you let the people know that watch you vote on YouTube or Chip for your live streams? The thing is, here's the thing. If I do a vote and the vote is right, do I stay on YouTube? And the only people who vote in that are on YouTube. I already know what the results of that vote are going to be. Now, moving to Twitch isn't just about me looking for a more stable platform and that sort of stuff. It's also about diversifying what I do as a channel. And this is important because the recent upsets with Patreon made me very aware that I've kind of got all my eggs in one basket. Now, if for some reason I lose my YouTube channel, I have no way to really connect with the majority of you guys. Do you know what I mean? And where to go and rebuild. So I am looking at doing like my video tutorials on YouTube. The Sunday night are on YouTube, but my studio streaming on Twitch as a way of building up another platform for stability as well. It's also another audience. There's a whole load of people on Twitch who don't watch YouTube, yeah, and may never have seen my tutorials. So it's that as well. So before you go around and say, can we have a vote over whether you go to Twitch? Understand, it's not just about one minor element, okay? I mean, if I developed a community on Twitch, if I developed a community on Facebook, and I was deciding, right, which one do I stick with, then a vote would be fair because everyone gets a chance to say, and you go with the majority. But at the minute, the majority is on YouTube, and there's no reason for you guys to want me to go over to Twitch. Yeah, so do you see where I'm coming from? Right, notch it is excellent. Fair enough. Glad you understand, mate. Trust me, it's something I've been racking my brains over quite a lot. So it's not something I would have chosen to do lightly, you know. And I am fully committed to it. I just, right, let's test it out. Let's give it a try. But there are more than just lag issues. You know, I need to sort of diversify and make myself a bit more stable. Yeah, because at the end of the day, this is my living as well. You know, it's how I keep the roof over the kid's head. Yeah, and so, you know, I saw what happened with Fritz. I saw what happened with DMG. You know, channel gone. Can't risk that. You know, I'm already really careful about what I do on my channel because of that. Okay, but the idea of having another platform that I can grow and it's one of the reasons why I'm getting a bit more onto Twitter and stuff like that. You know, just a few more eggs in my basket. I need a few more revenue streams, but that's coming. I've got to figure that out over this year. You know, so I'm not just relying on my YouTube videos, because I pretty much get all my money from my YouTube videos. I know you guys make donations towards kit and that sort of stuff, but it's the Google ads and it's my Patreon money. So I need to sort of like, right, okay, what happens if I can't make videos for 3 months because I'm taken ill? You know what I mean? Right, you know, what are my options? So it's the challenges you face, as you know, as a small businessman in the current environment. Found you and followed you on Twitch. Oh, don't worry, I won't be disappearing, and you know, I'm going to make this as easy as possible. Yeah, nice regular sessions, switchovers, all that sort of stuff. Right, so we've done pine trees. Question 5 of 11. Gabrielle. Hey Mal, I have a bunch of 25mm GW bases. I was thinking of using them for scatter. Do you think it would be too small or too steep to be used as terrain? I think yes, and I don't think the issue is they're going to be too small or too steep. I think the problem you're going to have with those is they're going to be recognisable as 25mm scatter bases. Yeah, whether no matter what you do with them, yeah, people are going to look at them and go, that's a scatter base, because your brain's just going to recognise them without conscious thought. So I think you're always going to be battling that they don't look quite right. If it was me, I'd use them for objective markers, for making funky tokens for your units, because they would fit next to models still styled in a grassy landscape. So they, you know, do you see where I'm going with here? Yeah, so you can forgive the fact that they're a miniatures base because they're associated with the miniatures rather than the terrain. Yeah, so yeah, I think what you're going to struggle. Use them along those lines, or look for an alternative use them, but don't use them for basing terrain on. I'm on YouTube and I want you to go to Twitch. Assassinate the competition. I can't, mate. There is only one person I'm competing with. Myself. Yeah, I know that sounds silly. Okay, let me explain this. I went through a phase probably about a year ago now where I actually got quite depressed because another scenic YouTuber exploded. Yeah, and I got really depressed because it was like, yeah, and it was all the old competition thing. And then I was sitting to my mental health nurse, and you know, I was having one of my sessions, and I was explaining why, and she was saying, but that's nothing to do with you. Yeah, and it's like, well, you don't know what's happening. You don't know what they've done to get in that situation. You don't know what's going on in their lives. And in truth, it doesn't affect you. You still carry on doing what you're doing. Yeah, and it came to realise that my only true competition is myself, to try and do better than, you know, I've done before. Because the rest, well, first off, yeah, there could be other people who do better than me on YouTube. Doesn't matter. You watch who you watch. You know, I've yet to find anyone who's turned around and say, I don't watch that YouTube channel because I watch this YouTube channel. You do what I do. You watch all the YouTube channels you're interested on subjects you're interested in, unless there's someone you don't really gel with. But do you know what I mean? You don't pick, right, for my wargaming, I pick this channel. You know, you don't work like that. So it's not a competition. You're not competing over people. You know what I mean? Yeah. From an artistic modeler side, I don't mind the fact that there's people on YouTube who are better modelers than me, or there's people, in the world that are better modelers than me, because I've seen some of the modelers out there and they're bloody amazing. Yeah, I don't need to be the best as long as I'm making a difference. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm happy. It puts a smile on my face. You know, I'm making a difference. I'm making people's hobbies richer. You know, I'm improving people's lives, and that pays back, and they appreciate it, and that pays back, and it pays back, not just in the Patreon side and the PayPals and stuff like that, but it pays back in ego. And I don't mean that to sound bad, yeah, or braggy or anything like that. I mean it in the sense that you've got to remember, I came, and I'm still, you know, a bit damaged. You know, and I still doubt myself, and that sort of doubt myself as a father, as you know, all these sort of things. So when you make a difference and people appreciate it and they thank you because they've been able to do something with the information you've given them, it helps that, you know. So I'm quite happy with where I am and what I get, if you know what I mean. I'd rather watch you, Mal, as you engage with your viewers. Well, I just do the stuff. The other channels explode due to them having drag dances. Hint, hint. New guy to the channel? He's saying Twitch is a no-brainer? Ain't that many channels for this kind of stuff anyway. True, true. Karma is what you're trying to say, Matt. Yeah. I don't prescribe to the Buddhist, to the Buddhist religion and the idea of karma, but I do live by the idea of karma, the idea of, you know, you put good out in, I mean, take this for example. I don't know why it was my door they knocked on, but at 3, well, he knocked on, but at 3:30, yeah, a.m., yeah, this morning, my door got knocked on by a young lad, yeah, a teenager, and I'm like, I come out, I look out the window, he woke me up, I look out the window, and I see this hooded youth at my door, sort of out my bedroom window, and I hear him say, help, this woman's fallen over. There's an old lady, and I'm like, all right, wait, you know, all right. So I've got my pajamas on. I haven't even got shoes on. I go out, I step out of the back door and that sort of stuff. And we'll be honest with you, I took a collie stick with me. You know, I do live on Bentley. Yeah. Saw it was this lad, and he sort of said, "There's a lady falling." He pointed, and I could see this old woman on the pavement across the way. Yeah, and it was like, all right, flip that across. All right, lad, come on. Yeah, and Kez came down and so I go across. Yeah, she was drunk as a skunk. There'd been a drama at the local pub. Yeah, 3:30 this was. So God knows what time she staggered out of that pub, because it's supposed to shut at 1. Yeah, but she was on the floor. But she from down the road, and she was only from like sort of 30 houses down. So, you know, me and this lad got her picked up. You know, and I got her in the car, and in my pajamas and in my socks, I drove down the road. Yeah, I got her back to her back door, and her husband was there, and he was giving her grief because she was drunk, and I was like, right, she's home, she's fine, I've done my bit. Yeah, and he was like, just come home. And then today, you know, I've had a brilliant day. I had a good lie-in, to be perfectly honest. You know, I had a really good lie-in, yeah, which is a rarity for me. Yeah, I had a great day out with the kids, playing around with the kids and that sort of stuff. Yeah, tonight's show's been a really good one, even though, you know, it's just been a good show. And so, you know, it's paid. You know, that's, you know, and she was in the car and she was going, oh, I'm sorry. And it's like, nah, look, you know, I was just in the right place at the right time. It's what I'm here to do. One of the other benefits of running your own channel What? Apparently I'm a paedophile according to Keemster. Who's Keemster? What's Keemster? Oh, right. Here we go. Yeah, we're getting them tonight, aren't we? We obviously hit a group of them. Oh. Yeah, I think I need to build a bridge, don't I? Somewhere to keep the trolls. I've been doing this too long for them to get me. Oh, right. Should we crack on with some terrain questions? Because that's what we're here for, isn't it? Right, so we've done, we've done Gabrielle's bases. Bill saying, how come I always end up having to put a second coat of flock on no matter what I'm flocking? It sounds like, your PVA isn't wet enough and it's not soaking through the PVA to adhere the flock that's on top of the bottom layer of flock, mate. Yeah, if you put PVA down too thin, or sorry, too thick, yeah, and it can't actually soak up through the flock, it won't adhere the flock that lays on top of the flock. So when it dries, you pour it off and it's only adhered the bottom layer. Yeah, try watering your PVA down more, mate. Mel, that crazy girl. I know that there's types. Mel, I know there are many types of uses for tiny terrains, games, models, terrains. I like to know building tiny terrains, but I don't know if I'd be into another aspect of the tiny terrain versions. Any suggestions if I wanted to try it? Simple, my hand at simple gaming or maybe terrains. What to try? A good game for to start you on terrain. It's weird because you've got to find a game you enjoy and then the terrain follows that. If you just want to do modelling, then don't worry about the game. Just model what you want, mate. Notice your wedding ring. How long have you been married, bud? How long have we been married?
Really?
Yeah, really. Is it 18 years?
It will be in April.
Yeah, 18 years in April. If I survive that long. Right, yeah. With regards to, if you don't know what game to make your terrain for, just make some terrain, mate. The game can follow. Right. Charlie B, I have problems with warping. My terrain boards are 2x2 or 2x4, 9mm MDF with 20mm wooden frame underneath. If I use your spackle texture paint and talked about 2x2, the two I've done always warp slightly. Nothing drastic, but it would be nice to keep them perfectly level. Yeah. Any advice? Yeah, counterbrace it. Yeah, get yourself a really nice, big, thick piece of hardboard. Yeah, drill some holes in it. Yeah, build your 2x4. As you're building your 2x4, screw it to your big counter frame while you're doing all your texturing and your painting and that sort of stuff. It'll be physically fixed to something that it can't warp. Once everything's dried, there's no warping factor. Once it's all done, unscrew it off the base. There you go. Sign up for Patreon right now, by the way. Nice one, buddy. Oh, we really have got them tonight, haven't we? Is my wife also involved in the hobby somehow? Yeah, Kez models and does stuff like that. Right, we've done Dave's question. Question 10. Do you have any from Kotama? Do you have any suggestions on the materials I should use for making ruins? Kind of like ancient Greek, Roman. Foam board, mate. Foam board or polystyrene. Go and have a look at the Back to Basics playlist. Yeah, I think you'll find a lot of stuff that, you know, we can sort off there. And final question. Bombastico. Any tips on how to organise myself to do terrain faster? Batch processing works. Yeah, so you're working on multiple items at the same time. It cuts down on the sort of setup and takedown of your materials and your brush cleaning and that sort of stuff. That's the quickest way with regards to working faster. After that, you're looking at sort of combining and skipping levels. So you start to play with mixing your paint with your texturing so that you can just do one layer instead of texturing it, then painting it. Same with the idea of the flocking and all that sort of stuff. It's about doing multiple things. So the idea of wet working. So you put water down, you put your PVA, you put you put all your flock and that stuff down. You soak it with watered down PVA, and essentially what you're doing is you are gluing, flocking, and sealing in one step. So yeah, that's how you do terrain faster, mate. Right. Well, we seem to have an infection of the trolls, don't we? Look at them all. Oh, you pathetic little people. Oh. But that's perfectly fine. Yeah, because we've reached the end of the show anyway. Right, I do need to check some PayPals because you awesome people have been sending in good donations. Yeah, right. Let's get some names on the screen, eh? Right, we have a couple of nuggets from Mark M. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for supporting the stream and helping it with everything. Yeah, and we've had 3 nuggets from Gaz T. Nice one, buddy. That's another £5 on towards our total. Looking good. There we go. Right, so awesome. We've done quite well tonight. We've had a good series of questions. We've had a good run of the trolls. Yeah, but doesn't matter. Still 108 watching. We have had a brilliant time. Yeah. And I think it's time that we call it. So, you've got vids coming up. You've got more live shows coming up. I'll be back in the studio. And as always, guys, yeah, I'll see you soon and look after yourself, yeah? All the best. Ta-ra.